How to support your energy levels. It's important, first of all, to check if you have got low energy. Think about what's going on and what the root cause is. Don't just start buying yourself a load of vitamins and things. So I would first of all say, how long has it been going on for? Can you identify any particular causes? So if you're sleeping badly, then that's probably it. But if it's something that's been going on a while, then it would be a good idea to have some blood tests. And it's important to test things like iron, B12, folate, maybe even your thyroid hormone, maybe full blood count. And it's really important to get that data from your doctor. Don't just accept everything's fine and normal, because actually sometimes the reference ranges are very broad. So get that data first. But what can you do for yourself? So obviously do a little food and mood diary or energy level diary and start monitoring it, see what's going on. And if it is sleep, then obviously that's got to be the sort of root cause of that, and support that area. In terms of diet, there's lots of things we can do. Obviously the nutrients are there to give us energy, so it's really important that your diet is balanced and it's got all the nutrients you need. But actually the way we eat, the timing, the types of food can really influence our energy levels. And this is called your blood sugar balance. So this is absolutely key for maintaining good energy levels, and it's also really important for metabolic health and just general health in general. So just in a nutshell, so it's not, so I do talks about this for an hour or whatever, but the main thing is, first of all, to make sure that you're trying to base your diet around not processed foods, so whole foods, natural foods, because these foods release their energy a lot more slowly. Obviously they're more nutritious as well, so trying to limit those highly refined foods, because they will be absorbed very rapidly by the body and turn very quickly into glucose, and they can produce big peaks, and then you'll get a dip again at the end, and that low dip will then make you want to have more food, usually something more sugary and more refined, so you can get into a little bit of a bit of a rut there. So thinking about what you eat, especially first thing in the morning, if you start your day with just a piece of toast or a bagel or a croissant or something, that's going to give you a little bit of an energy spike, and then you're going to get a bit of a crash, and then you're going to be wanting more food or maybe another coffee. So really think about that in terms of what you're putting in. Base your meals around protein, fats and fibre from fruits and vegetables. So I know that might be a little bit obvious, but it is really important. Also think about food timing. So you want to get your 12 hours from the last thing you eat at night or in the evening until the first thing that you eat the next day. So 12 hours is an absolute minimum for metabolic health. So this is really important for everybody. It means that in this fasted state, our bodies can do a lot of jobs that they need to do in a fasted state. So your body will be scanning around looking for cells that need to be killed off. Or be making new ones. There's a lot that goes on in the brain in terms of keeping you with good cognition, cleansing and things like that going on. Lots of repair and things like that. All this needs to happen in a fasted state. The digestive system, we need to sort of fill up those enzymes again. So it's really important to have that 12 hours. So if you're having sort of a late night drink or snack or something, and then there's not 12 hours before that in your breakfast, then that's something I suggest you change straight away, and that can make a huge difference to energy levels, digestive health, weight loss and all sorts of things. Fasting can be helpful, and sometimes it can be unhelpful, so that's something you'll have to experiment with, but generally I'd say 12 to 14 hours is about what's needed really. So and not grazing. So sometimes when people have got low blood sugar or low energy, the advice is to eat little and often, and this is really not good advice at all. In fact, it's the worst advice, because we're not designed to do that. We need at least 3 or 4 hours for our digestive system to sort of complete a cycle, and we really do need these periods of fasting, so it's not good for your blood sugar balance at all. I'm not suggesting that you go in at the deep end with huge gaps between meals if you're used to eating regularly. And if you are somebody who is a bit dysregulated, you might have to sort of do this gradually. But try not to graze. I'm not saying that you can't snack or, you know, have something when you need it. Do listen to your body. Always listen to your body. But if you're somebody that eating and drinking a lot through the day, that's probably not going to help your energy levels, and it's not going to be very good for your digestion or your teeth. So what else can I say? So yes, quickly then, we've talked about the quality of the food, so make sure it's not refined, processed food like lots of bread and sugary things, slow release foods, plenty of protein. Also thinking about caffeine. So caffeine gives us a little bit of an up, and then we can go crashing down again, just like we can with the blood sugar levels. And we can get a little bit resistant to it as well, needing more and more. And I do also have clients that say, oh, it's okay because I just drink decaf. And they might have like 7 decafs through the day, but actually decaffeinated teas and coffees do contain some caffeine. So actually that cumulative effect could be enough to disrupt your sleep and energy levels. And it's not always just about having the caffeine near to bedtime. It's also about the cumulative effect. So you might say, oh, I haven't had any coffee since like 2 o'clock or 1 or 12 o'clock or whatever. But you might have had, you know, too many for you, because actually it might be that you're sensitive. So think about the total amount of caffeine that you're having as well. Likewise, alcohol can disrupt sleep and energy levels as well. So those things, you know, we want to do whatever we can to support sleep. So we've talked about the quality of food, we've talked about food timing. So moving away from food, the other thing that can really help you with supporting energy is your light exposure. So one thing that I would recommend to everybody is to get some daylight exposure first thing in the morning when you wake up. So as soon as you can, get outside. And I mean, what I do is I take my morning drink outside, and unless it's hammering it down with rain, I'll sit outside, even if I'm wearing a coat or something like that, and I'm getting all the benefits from the sunshine. And I'm not talking about getting vitamin D here, I'm not talking about that, that's a separate conversation. I'm talking about the daylight, as in resetting your circadian rhythm, telling all the hormones in the body what time of day it is, so it knows when to release the right hormones at bedtime as well. You know, we have lots of mini body clocks, so getting your daylight exposure is so important, and first thing in the morning is one of the most key times. And on that note, it's really important to be mindful of your artificial light exposure, particularly in the afternoon and evening. So artificial light really does overstimulate the brain and make it very confused about what time of day it is. It can disrupt hormone production, particularly melatonin. So we really need a dark bedroom, and we need darker, dimmer lights during the evening. So in that case, you know, maybe consider avoiding screens before bed, dimming the screens, using light blocking glasses, those sorts of things really is a game changer. Whatever your health goal, or, you know, even if you are really healthy and feel good, you know, I'd really recommend that. That's really good. And last but not least, and I'm sure there's lots more I could say, but obviously don't forget about energy, exercise, because even if you are really fatigued and really struggling with exercise, even a small amount can help to energize you, can help with circulation, and help release some of those feel-good hormones as well. So even if it's just a little gentle walk around the block, just try and build in some regular exercise. I hope you find that helpful.